So I want to talk about progressive policies and why they don't make progress. Progressive is an aspiration. It is not a reality in America. Progressive policies have not led to progress, at least not nearly as much as a job. Okay? One job offer is probably more healthy for a recipient than 5 progressive programs. Let's look at some progressive policies and how they retard progress. I'll start with Social Security. It's the most regressive tax we have. It is especially unfair to African Americans. They should be irate. But progressives say the nicest things about Social Security protecting them. But look, Social Security keeps you from building up more money. And African Americans, it affects the most because they tend to pay in longer, start work earlier than whites, and with lower life expectancy than whites, they take out for less time. Here's the result. Life expectancy of a 40-year-old black male is 67.5 years. Retirement age 65, so you collect for 2.5 years. Average expectancy for the 40-year-old white male, 75.2. You're collecting for over 10 years on average, 4 times as much as the black guy. Black American works longer, gets paid 1/4 of the time. Absolutely unfair. But race aside, the whole system is punitive on middle and low income workers. It extracts 15.6% of your salary. That's your end plus the employer's end. Parents who'd like to get a mortgage but can't because they say only save 5% of their income. They earn $80,000. They can save only $4,000 a year. Pretty hard to build up a stash saving only $4,000 a year. If you get rid of the Social Security tax, the couple that earns $80,000, they'd save an extra $12,000 a year, $16,000 total. Ping! 2 years of savings. You have a decent down payment on a $300,000 home. Oh, how about zoning restrictions? Progressives tend to like those, but they make housing harder to afford in the first place. Zoning restrictions keep people from moving into better neighborhoods. They keep parents from sending their students to the best schools, which tend to be in the better neighborhoods. So yeah, that's another progressive policy, keeping the school monopoly. The public school monopoly, if that were evaporated, it wouldn't really matter whether you moved into a better town or not. Your kids could still go to the better schools. But now, the better towns are where it's at for education, and progressives don't let people get there. How about Obamacare? Obamacare was absolutely pernicious towards younger workers. Those who haven't gotten so much merit that they will be given full-time with benefits jobs. So for the first few years of your career, you're often told you can only work 29 hours. Why? Because at 30 hours, the Obamacare policy of requiring employer benefits kicks in. A lot of employers don't want to pay that benefit, so boom, you're talented, but we ain't hiring you beyond the 29 hours. Now you got to go get a second job. So you might, with 2 jobs and no benefit, earn what you would earn in 1 job with benefits. But look what's really missing. The 1 job where you can work full-time or even overtime to impress colleagues, to gain more responsibility, to show management what you can do. You lose that opportunity thanks to progressive Obamacare. Finally, there's the policy of protecting weaker workers. That's what progressives do by supporting the unions that keep workers from being exceptionally high or exceptionally low in salary. They don't pay according to the workers' skills. They pay according to seniority, and that helps keep workers in line. And it works until the whole plant closes down. It works until a business finds better technology to replace a whole swath of workers. Good unions are ones that help workers build their skills, and those skills will change over time. Bad unions, and that's most of them, don't do that. They just want to extract from the haves and give to the lesser. And yes, it has worked decently in some industries, but ask auto workers in Detroit, which didn't modernize enough and left Detroit, which once had 2.5 million people, with less than a third of that now. Good unions empower their workers. They emphasize skills. Car mechanics now are primarily computer diagnosticians. RNs now have the skills that MDs used to have 40 years ago. And these industries have avoided unionization. These industries let their workers flourish. Progressives should be supporting unions that support this kind of ascent instead of a take from one, give to the rest. All right, I am Mark Stewart. Thank you for hanging in there, especially you progressives for whom I hope this might be an eye-opener. I am open to your comments. I will respond to any thoughtful ones. libertymsg@gmail.com. Thanks.